All right, welcome in. It is a $5 Tuesday here on the best betting show ever and at WagerTalk.com. It also happens to be double the fun because it's a Prez free zone today, except Brian Powers here. Never mind. It is $5 Tuesday here. I thought maybe the show would have gotten better, but nope. Instead, always a pleasure to see you, BP. Art the Caesar in the house, gentlemen. Boy, it's getting good to get football back, isn't it, man? I mean, we got Thursday. It's going to be huge. Already a lot of money coming in when it comes to the preseason football. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. Of course, we'll have some future bets for you in the NFL, some awards markets, some college football, you name it. We've got it. Major League Baseball rundown coming your way also. But as customary, we like to figure out where the books lost last night or won. And what did we get, Art? What kind of night was it for the books?
Well, the Dodgers finally won, so they got back on track. But they didn't cover that run and a half.
Barely.
A lot of people going to play. Yeah, a lot of people going to play that run and a half. I would say it was probably a break-even type of night for the books. There weren't a lot of shocks, to be honest with you. Or, the sharps felt like they kind of split. Public kind of split on things. Like I said, I mean, the Dodgers are going to help the parlay bettors, but, it was a smaller slate in baseball yesterday, so probably not much to report.
Yeah, a couple of the lake. I mean, the School Bowl facing Kansas City, you've seen them like 12 times already, which is hysterical, is always fun there. But some of those late games are actually pretty entertaining. Yeah. The Brewers and the Padres, another under there. That's a shock. Mize pitched well. Henderson pitched well. Game 2 of that series coming up here with Harrison and Buehler tonight. And Houston actually beating, I believe, was it the Giants last night here in a tough spot. So all in all, it was a good night for you, BP. How'd you do last night?
It was. Our best bet was so good, as a matter of fact. We survived extra innings. It was the under on the Rangers and Angels, 10th inning. It wasn't even a sweat, even with the extra inning. We had under 8.5. Texas won it in the 10th, 4-1. But game pretty much went as I expected with two good performances from the starting pitchers.
And I think it was Detmers last
Yes,
time,
Reed
right?
Detmers. But still, this poor bastard still can't win at home. But you mentioned the Giants, Joe. Thoughts and prayers to anyone who bet them plus 1.5. They let the Astros tie it in the 9th, and then they lose by 3 in extras. That sucked for anyone who, I don't know, too many people are, if they were running to the window to bet the Giants plus 1.5. But
no,
anyone who did, that sucks, I guess. So,
the under got killed too.
The under got destroyed there too as well on it. Yep. That's a good point there. Forgot about that. Other than that, Red Sox still blow, so that's good. Back down to back to life. Back to reality, as Soul to Soul once said there. But we do have, BP's got that on his Walkman. Let's go to some sharp bets here tonight there. Art, what are the sharps looking at? I guess 2 or 3 WNBA games here tonight.
Yeah, they bet one of them overnight. They took the Sparks under 180 in that game. They're on 2 MLB sides. They're on the Rangers. They're on the Braves.
On the Rangers and the Braves to bounce. Oh, Mets, huh? Look at the Mets all of a sudden deciding to play some baseball. Ridiculous that is there. I believe, I think we sucked, but I'll just blame the Prez on the parlay of the day yesterday. Okay. So let's just call it what it is. Way to go, Prez. But gives us an opportunity to get down here, though, and get and right the ship here a little bit. So, BP, you are up first. Give us your first leg in the parlay of the day here.
All right. Well, hey, we only need to get 3 legs right instead of 4. Getting 4 is tough, Joe, to do. But let's go with Milwaukee to get things going. You mentioned the tough loss they had against San Diego. This Walker Buehler nonsense needs to stop. How do the Padres keep winning with this guy on the mound? His ERA's over 5 his last 5 starts. I think Milwaukee bounces back after an unlucky loss last night. So we're throwing in a parlay. His price is coming down, too, which is a little odd. But I don't know. I like the Brew Crew.
A lot of very interesting line movement here. How about you, Art? Which side are you looking at here tonight for us?
I'm taking under 8 minus 120 in the Yankee Mariner game.
Under 8. Is that what we're going under?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I just screwed me over because I'm going Yankees at minus what? 120. What are they, Art? 125?
26, yeah.
126.
Yeah. Not 130 yet. Yep.
Yeah. Woo is not good on the road, people.
No, he's not.
And Seattle is watching them try to hit is laughable. So, yeah, I'll take the Yankees at a short price, and that will be our parlay today. Almost a little same-game parlay we got going on there, Art, also. So, kudos to us there. Now, go ahead, BP. Was that a cough? Or was that?
It was a little bit. A little bit of clearing of the throat, if you will.
Okay.
But I was going to support you, Joe, and say the Yankees, actually this Yankees and under has been correlated recently. They've been winning a lot of low-scoring games.
Okay, so let's go back to the
trying to help the guy out.
I'm just saying, let's go back to the predictive markets, and then we'll do a little business here on a $5 Tuesday, which those of you joining us for the first time, you'll understand it's all best bets are just $5 over at WagerTalk.com. So I think it is safe to say after, I believe, fastest to 2 or second fastest to 200 strikeouts, that would have been Mizorowski in his last start there. It's pretty much safe to say, at least I think, Art, right? Just give him the award. The last time I looked, it was absurd what the Cy Young number was there for Miz. Is it so impressive and so good that, I don't know, could he actually get the any other types of awards there as well? Maybe MVP, because he doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. And I don't know, man. He just 250. How many strikeouts is he going to get? 250, 260? When's the last time we had that kind of strikeout prowess in Major League Baseball? Strider, 22 and 23. Yeah, he blew his arm out, basically, right? It was 22 and 23, and he ended up blowing out, I believe, right? Blew out his arm after the 23
season. He hasn't been right since.
He has not been even remotely close to being right ever since there. So, I mean, to him right now, Chris Sale's the only other person in it. And the only reason I'm saying it is because Mizorowski is about 85 cents. I don't, unless you think, I don't know, I mean, Sale is interesting. I'm not buying Sanchez. So unless you think something crazy is he's already done enough basically in that market, Art, to cash it, I'm thinking.
Oh, I would agree with that. I mean, the American League's a little bit more interesting than, the National League's done. And as far as, he'll get probably third, fourth place votes for MVP.
Yes.
But, the majority of the first and second place votes will be taken up by PCA and Ohtani. But wouldn't shock me if he got votes and maybe finished third or fourth in that voting.
That wouldn't shock me either, because I don't, usually it's always such a, it's very player oriented, but we all know that if Ohtani just was a pitcher, and actually stayed on the mound for a full season, he'd be that, Cy Young and MVP candidate all day long, if he just went that route there. What are you thinking, BP?
Last time, just for the record, last time we saw a guy hit 300 strikeouts in a season was Garrett Cole in 2019. Wow. I think for Miz to get the MVP, like, he would have to hit some magical number, right? Some magical amount where people are like, oh, we've never seen this before. Because I think the voters are always going to defer in the end, because the pitchers have their, quote, own award with the Cy Young. They're going to defer. And as long as the Cubs finish strong and PCA finish strong, it's his award to lose. Obviously, major market people like to cut. Not that the voters should pay attention to that, but they do. And so
I think he doesn't have to pitch another inning, and I think he's already locked it up there. But
the Cy Young, yes.
Yeah, the Cy Young. And I think also here, the American League, to your point, is also interesting. Now, Dylan Cease pitches tonight, I believe.
Yes.
What happened last night with Sonny Gray? Did Sonny Gray, or was it the other night, 2 nights ago, right? He pitched well,
he pitched
right?
well. Yeah, he pitched well. They lost, but he pitched well.
who wins this then? Is it Schlittler? Is it Dylan Cease? I mean, Sonny Gray has got to be getting some love somewhere in the market there, no?
Here's the thing. Schlittler pitches A for the Yankees, and B, that's a team that's going to be in a pennant chase. Like Dylan Cease would have. The onus is on Cease to be especially dominant because he's pitching for a team that probably isn't going to make the playoffs. And again, these awards, they tend to go to teams that you players on teams that make the postseason, barring in otherworldly seasons. So, as things stand right now, Schlittler is the deserved favorite in that market. It would take, a real strong, and Cease has been great. And Schlittler, at home at least, had been a little suspect before the other day. But I don't know. I think Schlittler's the rightful favorite in that market, Joe. But yeah, I think there's a void for a third guy to come up.
He's been absurd, though. Like Cease has been really, when you dive into some of the numbers there, Art, he has been absolutely you can't score on the guy. He's getting the strikeouts. I mean, he has been very, very good. But I don't know. Is the next couple of weeks, the next couple of starts going to decide who wins this? Or is it just Schlittler at this point? We should jump in at 57 cents before it gets crazier.
Yeah, I mean, Cease definitely closed the gap, right? I mean, I remember when we were talking about Schlittler maybe even a couple of months ago, he looked like he was running away with it. But to BP's point, like, with Cease not being in a pennant race here or even a wild card race, like, his numbers would almost have to be double as good as Schlittler's, and they're not. So Schlittler being a Yankee, pitching as well as he is, he's the ace of the team. If he just continues doing what he's doing, he'll win the award.
It just feels like this is going to go back and forth. Like if Dylan Cease comes out, dominates a couple of more starts, and it just feels like it's going to be back and forth with both of them. But I think we can both agree it's going to be a two-horse race here, guys. Anybody else going to be there's no dark horse here, right, in the American League? No, it's just going to be these two. So. Yeah, it's going to be. Now, that begs the question then, also in the American League, because it feels like the American League, there's still a lot more unsettled than, except for, I think, the MVP, which I believe we can all believe is Yordan Alvarez, right? If he's going to get the Triple Crown at this point, I think we all can say that. What about the Manager of the Year? This is fascinating because Chad Tracy, to me, may be sitting in the seat of one of the greatest turnarounds that we have seen in a very, very long time. But I don't know. Did you guys have the White Sox on your bingo list for having the kind of year that they had here? I mean, Art, what's more impressive here? Kevin Cash with that roster and still manages to figure it out in Tampa? Tracy? The White Sox? Who is it?
It should be the White Sox manager, but if the Red Sox win the division, which they can. I mean, we talked about this the other day that the Rays haven't run and hid in this division. Basically the Red Sox have almost jumped the Yankees here for second. So a lot of baseball left. I think if the Red Sox were to win that division, there should be strong consideration for Manager of the Year. But you look at the White Sox, I think a lot of people had them improved, but what was their win total? It was still in the high 60s. Was it going to go win it? Right? I mean,
it was high 60s. I think it closed low. It might have even closed 70 and a half.
Yeah. Sure. But opened, right? High 60s, and they're going to go win a division. Yep. You go win a division doing that. I mean, you got to be the Manager of the Year.
Yeah, and that's typically what the voters look for is overperformance relative to season expectations. I would echo what Art said. If the White Sox win the division and the Red Sox do not, then Venable will win this award.
Yeah. Yep.
And Kevin, he feels like he wins it and gets votes every year.
The thing is, Tampa Bay, while Tampa Bay has exceeded expectations as well,
right? We've
seen this from Tampa Bay before.
Yeah.
We've seen them compete. And so, whereas this White Sox team was, in the dumps so much the last couple of years to go from an 100-loss season to winning a division. That's what people look for in any
100%.
sport, these Coach of the Year, Manager of the Year awards. It's when you have a big jump in wins year over year, and especially when you exceed that preseason expectation win total.
So do the White Sox have to win the division in order to make the postseason, or where are they in the whole mix of things?
So, no. Because, you're going to get the three teams from the East. I think we're all going to agree are going to make it, right? No matter what the order finishes, Rays,
Tampa,
Yankees,
and okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Fangraphs
Okay.
had Boston at 95% to make the postseason there, so that's pretty much locked in. But what about the Central? I mean, who's left?
Well, I said it when they traded Scooble. I said, don't write the Tigers off. I know run differentials and everything. People get in the comment section all the time and say, oh, you put too much stock in that. Look, I think it's a great predictor of future. The Tigers have a ridiculous run differential this year. They've been very unlucky in one-run games. I think they still have a shot. So you're going to have three teams, including the two division champions, obviously, from the Central and West, and one wild card. And you look at the White Sox relative to second place in the West, if they are usurped by the Tigers in the division or somebody else, I'm kind of a seller on the Guardians and Twins, they still can get the wild card. So I don't think they need necessarily to make to win the division to make the playoffs. But if not winning the division would hurt Venable's Manager of the Year bid a little bit. But I guess he could still win, even if they don't win the division.
I think he can still win, no? Or, I think they can absolutely still get it done.
Because you're still exceeding that win total. I mean, you're still going to be in the high 80s. You're going to go over your win total by double digits. And I mean, that's,
I mean, you're talking about like 15 games over their win total, basically.
Correct. Which is crazy, right?
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Lots still to be decided here in the American League, which makes the next, 4 to 6 weeks going to be very, very interesting here down the stretch. All right. We have some football talk coming up, NFL, as well as college football here. In the meantime, Major League Baseball will run down the schedule. But, of course, we do need to talk about some business here. Even though the Prez is not here, I will tell you he's got another Major League Baseball best bet up. 7-0 run, I think, the Prez, if I'm reading this correctly. He hasn't lost, it feels like, a little while. So he's got a best bet up on his page over at WagerTalk.com for $5. BP, how about you, my man? What do you got rolling for us here today?
Far be it for me to feel like I'm part of the group officially, Joe, but if you look at that MLB leaderboard... All
right, good talking to you there. Art,
you're going to see a lot of names. Hey, wait a minute. I wasn't done talking.
Sorry, boy. My bad.
I'm putting you over again. It's you, me, and Prez are the top three on the MLB leaderboard. Mm-hmm. And look, you can get this right now. I cashed another Major League Baseball total last night. I told you it was very easy. Game went to 10 innings. We still stayed under very easily. You buy the rest of my MLB season, guys. You're going to get all the soccer plays through September, absolutely free of charge. Of course, all the big leagues over in Europe start not this weekend, but next.
All right, good stuff there. You done now, or we're good? Okay, good stuff.
We can move on.
Love it. All right, swept the board last night. Got a $5, 4% best bet up now over at my page, wt.buzz/JR. Also, free plays are up, guys. You can go grab those as well. Check them out, whether it's BP's page, mine. The Prez has got one up there. But can't go wrong. Matter of fact, all three of us with the best bets, go get them for $5 each on Customer Appreciation Day. That is the best way to approach it. All right, guys, let's talk at the NFL preseason. Week 1 is almost upon us. And Art, big picture here for preseason football. We mentioned this a couple of weeks ago where it feels like the people who bet preseason, and you're not going to get a lot of public money one way or the other, Art, is that right? But some of these line moves get a little crazy here through the first couple of weeks of the preseason, right?
They do. Being in the back of a risk room, being a bookmaker, when you put these lines up, whether it's Sunday or Monday for an upcoming week like this, where obviously you got games on Thursday, you see movement right away. And do you get public people? Couple people in town for the weekend, maybe they see their teams playing that day, they throw a couple bucks down, but obviously that's not what moves these lines the way they do. We see plenty of teams who are favored end up being dogs by the time the game kicks. You see totals move 4, 5, 6 points sometimes. So you see a lot of early stuff in the week, then you see a lot of late stuff. Maybe one group's in early and then another group comes in late, pushes the number back. So as far as whether you're a bettor or you're in a back room trying to make these numbers and trying to stay up with it, it can be challenging.
Do you dabble, BP, at all in the preseason here? What do you look at in the preseason?
If I see something, sure, we'll jump on. But I've decreased my volume in that because we're just getting ready for the regular season. We're getting ready for soccer. But I mean, look, and everyone understands this. Here's just kind of like a case in point to illustrate what we're saying. Obviously, it's so much information-based betting the preseason. Jacksonville, about an hour before we recorded, announced they're not playing the starters in the first game against New Orleans. Well, they opened -1. They opened as a slight favorite, and they're now getting 3.5 in New Orleans for that game on Saturday. Wow. So, I mean, these numbers, the news comes out, and these numbers move quick, guys. I mean, you guys understand that. Art probably better than anybody. But that's just what you're up against here, man. Yeah, you got to, if you see news, if you're betting on information, you got to go quick, man, because, otherwise you're the wrong end of a 4-point line move. And typically, that is not a smart way to bet, to bet after a line moves by that many points.
Yeah, to me, I think it's all about quarterbacks. What quarterback is going to be in the third or fourth quarter? Because that's when the game is either going to be won or lost or covered or not, one way or the other. I think there are a couple of very intriguing spots to keep an eye on here. And I think one of them, Art, your neck of the woods. So we got a quarterback battle still, do we not here? Is it Cousins? Is it Mendoza? Both are likely going to play, are they not? I don't see any reason why neither would play there. You also have Aiden O'Connell in the mix there also. Seems very intriguing about how the preseason goes for those three quarterbacks. We know they're going to want to try to get Mendoza in there, but I don't know. Are we confident that Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter here?
I mean, all the reports are he is going to start. It's just a matter of when. When does Mendoza take over? Is it week 4? Is it week? What is the kind of point of, hey, when do we put this guy in? You mentioned Aiden O'Connell too. He's going to be playing his butt off as well because he's been in the NFL.
That's a showcase.
Yeah, he's auditioning, right? I mean, obviously it's not going to be in Vegas that he's going to make his mark anymore. But listen, he's a guy who's been around and taken snaps in the league. So, of course, he's going to go out there and he's a professional quarterback. So, yeah. And I think even with Mendoza, I don't know how much they'll even give him in, the preseason, right? It's only 3 games now. I don't know. I think you know what you got when you draft a kid number 1.
He's
they'll
got
give him
to
a
get
couple
the
series,
reps,
but,
though, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he'll get the reps, but, I think
are they keeping 3? Are they keeping 3 quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And what is going to be the backup quarterback situation for the Rams? Because we know, BP, Stafford's not going to sniff the field in preseason.
Nope.
Which means they got a guy that they picked in the first round. And what is it, Stetson Bennett? Who's the backup now for the Rams there? It's not Jimmy G, right?
Nobody values the preseason less than Sean McVay.
Right.
So, you're not going to see a lot. Oh, it's interesting. The Rams are fair. The 49ers, by the way, the word out of camp again is that everybody's injured. So it's interesting that the Rams, when the Rams play the 49ers next Thursday, they're actually favored in that game. The Rams are a dog in the first preseason game to Kansas City, for the record.
Listen, Flacco's the backup to Burrow, right? Josh Johnson on there, Sean Clifford in there. There are some very interesting backup spots here. How much is Mahomes going to see? Which means Justin Fields, Garrett. Who's going to back up Mahomes this year? Who is it?
Yeah. Well, an interesting thing, too, going back to the Hall of Fame game, the one thing that we have under our belt is you don't know. We could say, oh, this guy, what are we going to see? Carson Beck looked incredible.
He did, in that
exactly.
Game. Yes.
And Kenny Pickett, they were just slinging all over the field. Haynes King. My God, it looked like George. It looked like Georgia Tech.
That is how you profit in preseason. It's all about the quarterbacks. All about the quarterbacks in the second half of these games, and especially ones that are either auditioning. I mean, Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, what was he going to see? So that means Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Drew Allar. Remember him from Penn State, where everyone thought he was going to be? But again, the other guys are all auditioning and legit here. Jalen Hurts you won't see. Is it Andy Dalton or Tanner McGee? Those are the battles, I think, that are going to decide how these games get done here in week 1, week 2, and week 3. So concentrate on the quarterback battles with some of these teams, and I think that is the way you can approach some of these preseason matchups, because that's what I'm looking for. Who's backing up who here, Cade Klubnik? Come on, Cade. I need you to beat Gino. That would be great.
Well, particularly when you've got some of these young and hungry Tigers too, right, Joe? I mean,
Correct.
Obviously, if a veteran is involved in a backup battle, the veteran, you know what he is. The team kind of knows what he is. But if it's these younger guys that have something to prove, they play with the chip on their shoulder. Again, Carson Beck, Haynes King, the examples we've already seen so far this preseason.
Yep, I agree. I think
young coaches too. Young coaches.
Yeah,
want to
great
win.
call too. Also, still trying to figure it out there. And yes, especially come second half. I like that. Like
Build
that one
culture.
a lot. Yep, like that a lot. All right, guys, we do have, of course, yesterday we talked about the NFL leading rusher. Any thoughts on who the leading receiver is going to be as far as yards go? Who's going to catch the most passes, the most yards here when you look at the future, Art, for wide receivers this year? And there's a lot of new ones, too, in the league here. A lot of highly touted, rookies that are going to be taking the field. How do you even approach this? Who do you think has got the right quarterback-coach combination to lead the league?
When I went through it, I was looking for value, and I saw a lot of 10 and 12 to 1s on him, but Circa had 17 to 1 on CeeDee Lamb. If you look at probably like the last 3, 4, 5 years, you basically have to be in the 1,700 yard range to win this. Cooper Kupp had a year where he was almost at 2,000. That was a little bit of an outlier, but the guy, and I forget who led last year, I think he was like 1,780. When you look at CeeDee, he missed a couple of games last year, a couple of games the year before. But the last time he played all 17, he had 1,749 and 135 catches. Obviously, this offense is explosive. I like the value with CeeDee Lamb there at 17 to 1. So he's someone I would give maybe, half a unit on, a little bit of a shot on CeeDee Lamb.
What do you think, BP? How would you approach this market?
Yeah, Art was pretty much spot on with the number of yards. It was Jackson Smith and Jigba who led last year at 1,793. What about Nico Collins for Houston?
He's another one.
I think Houston might. Yeah, he's at 16 to 1 right now at one of the more popular books. I think there's a lot of value there. I wouldn't go with Njigba to go back to back. This is one where you do want to look down the board here a little bit. I know we kind of talked about in the rushing market yesterday, the guys on top made a lot of sense, but I would look a little lower. I don't hate CeeDee Lamb, but I'll throw Nico Collins out there as a name to look at 16 to 1.
Is Puka Nacua taking a step back? I mean, who's going to get more than him? I mean, he's the kind of guy that's just going to eat up yards all season long, right underneath. You can't cover him. And he feels like, how many did he end up with last year, BP? It must have been he was 2,
He was
right?
number 2 at 17-15, so it was very close. It was just quick math, 78 yards behind Njigba for the lead, so he was very close.
And again, Jamar Chase with a healthy Joe Burrow, if they can protect him.
He was number 4 last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to be playing from in front where they want to run the ball, or are they? You know what I mean? It's
they're going to be in shootouts.
I'd call the thing I have problem is where is how many yards is Pickens going to steal from CeeDee Lamb here? That's another one of my worries there. But listen, if we can figure out who's going to be passing the ball, Justin Jefferson feels like value, even if he doesn't win it. But my goodness, do we trust either quarterback situation? And I like the coach, but are we trusting either quarterback to get Justin Jefferson enough touches and enough passing yard? Talk about a team that, are they going to run the ball? I think they're going to have to pass the ball this season, especially indoors.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I like the coaching. Those scheme. I mean, you're right. I mean, with it is tough to trust a lesser known quarterback situation there with Minnesota. Will it be?
Well, if it's Kyler Murray, he's going to chuck it up.
Yeah,
and he can scramble enough to make it. So I don't hate that. But if it is McCarthy, I want nothing to do with any of those future markets.
No,
nothing with any of those guys. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, everyone seems to think Detroit's going to run away, but is he the guy?
He was fifth last year in this market.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of opportunities with that offense, no doubt.
And we can all agree that A.J. Brown will not lead the league, correct? Or
No. Correct, yes.
Who else are they throwing the ball to there, though, is my question.
I just wanted to add one more thing on Nico Collins, Joe. He finished just inside the top 10 last year, but remember he played in two fewer games than most of the leaders did. He only played in 15 games. Yep. So I mean, he was 600 yards short of the leader. Obviously, he wasn't going to get 300 yards in each of those other two games. I understand this, right? But nevertheless, there was some yardage left on the board there. Keep in mind, Houston couldn't protect C.J. Stroud.
I agree.
Last year,
and I don't know if they're going to protect him now.
Better, well, I mean, they can't be any worse at it, I would think.
But they need to run the ball. That's my only problem with them is they need to run the ball to protect them from themselves there. But I think, listen, I can't trust Tampa because Baker Mayfield's got a bug up his ass. Otherwise, I would, there are some guys. Evans is gone. Who's getting all those receptions now in Tampa Bay? He's fascinating. And again, at the price we're talking about, 3 cents, 7 cents, 5 cents. Man, they can put together a nice little string of some quality games. And boy, oh boy, these prices are going to adjust in a big, big way by the time we get to October. So NFL, preseason football, NFL future markets, and don't forget college football future markets available here. And yesterday we've talked win totals. We've talked about making the college football playoff yesterday, and same situation here, BP. If you were going to look at a future bet in college football this season, where would you look? Besides Air Force, well, you're never going to win anything.
You hated my Air Force bet yesterday. That's a good bet. Well, I'm going to, Joe, since you loved Air Force so much yesterday, boy, are you going to love this. How about Eastern Michigan plus 650 to reach the MAC championship game?
Oh, Christ. You even know where Eastern Michigan is?
Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Hey now.
The Gypsies. At the MAC, you're going to ask one of the most famous MAC graduates in the United States of America, do I know where Eastern Michigan is? Are you ribbing me?
I'm not ribbing you at all, and I just think people should understand.
Can we talk? All right, let's talk about the MAC here. Western Michigan's going to take a step back. Toledo and Ohio, my alma mater, Ohio U.
There it is.
They have new coaches. And so Eastern Michigan, there's a void. I did not look like that at Ohio University in any of my 4 years.
Yes, you did, because that's got MAC written all over it. That hair has got business in the front, MAC in the back, baby. That's all I'm saying.
I think that's more of a Conference USA haircut, personally, but that's just me.
Oh, I can't. You really like Eastern? You like Eastern Michigan? Or
Eastern Michigan? I think it's a good flyer to make the conference championship. Look,
I like it.
When you look at the group of 5 now, the group of 6, there's a lot more variance in those leagues. If you go back the last couple years. That's where teams come out of nowhere and make those conference championship games. The pecking order has gotten a lot tighter, in the Power 4 conferences, right? You have to look to the wild cards. I think it's worth a shot, man, at plus 650. The top of the MAC is weak. It can be had this year. It can be had.
Ooh. All right. You got it there. I like anything at that price point. That is for sure. Art, how about you? Where are you looking at college football for a future?
I know this is a team we've talked about on the program before, but I'm going to go Georgia to win the SEC. I've seen them as low as plus 250. MGM still has them at 3-1. Listen, Gunnar Stockton's back at quarterback. Feels like he's been there forever. Defense is loaded. Could be the most experienced team Kirby Smart's had, which is saying a lot. Schedule sets up nice. No Texas, no LSU. Their 2 hardest games on the road, at Bama and at Ole Miss. You look at Game of the Year lines, they're still favored in those games. -3 at Bama, -4, 4.5 at Ole Miss. Sets up really well for Georgia to win the SEC.
Like that. I do like that. You feel like you almost have to play that every year anyway. A lot of question marks in the SEC this year.
Yes.
All right. It's gross, but I'm doing it. I really think they got a really good shot this year as well. I'm going to take Miami to win the national championship, the U, to be national champions here. Yes, we've had a new quarterback. We just saw Carson Beck, right, running around looking pretty good. But is there any better get than Darian Menza from Duke to come to Miami as much as it cost them there? I mean, my goodness. They came up so short last year, but there's a lot of continuity on this team that is coming back. Coaching staff is there. Malachi Toney is there. And the talent, the defense. Listen, 2 best pass rushers, went in the first round this year. But they're never short of talent. So to me, coming out of the ACC, and with a quarterback like Menza who's going to be part of the Heisman conversation, they are making it to the dance, and that's half the battle. Anything from there, I think it's gravy. I mean, they're 12-1 somewhere along there. We're still double digits, I believe, to win the national championship. But Art, the U out of the ACC, why not the U coming back? That's a lot of firepower and a lot of experience on that team coming back.
Yeah, I don't hate it. And I mean, you look at kind of some of those teams like Notre Dame, who's the favorite at like 6-1.
Yeah.
Why would you bet 6-1? You could take a team in the double digits who, like you said, you first have to establish, are they going to be in?
Yeah.
You think Miami's going to be in, and then, like you said, you roll the dice from there and you play those games out. But getting a team that you can be very confident is going to make the playoff at 12-1, that's a good start.
I mean, what are you thinking there, BP? And I would also put Darian Menza to win the Heisman. I don't know what that number is at, but I think those things go hand in hand there. And yes, Mario Cristobal drives me absolutely to want to drink at points, but I think he turned a corner last year. And I think they got more than enough money to afford talent, and they might just have the best quarterback in the country this year.
Yeah, that whole playoff run, we kept saying, oh, is this the game where Cristobal is going to make a mistake? And then he never did. So kudos to him. Look, there's 8 teams that are minus 200 or better to make the college football playoff. Miami is one of them. They're in a conference where no other team is in that group because you got the 2 SEC teams, Georgia and Texas. You got 3 Big Ten teams. And then you got Notre Dame and Texas Tech to round out the 8. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, Joe. If you're really confident in Miami to make the college football playoff, and you should be, then worth taking a flyer on them to win it all.
I almost hate it now that he agrees with me, but I think we're
nice,
on to
Joe.
something.
Just
Yeah, I know.
nice.
I know. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Become part of the WagerTalk TV family. Before we get out of here, we'll go through the Major League Baseball rundown for you. Plenty of games here tonight, obviously, as a full 15-game slates. So, BP, are you ready here? You ready to get this going?
If I said no, it would probably be pretty awkward, huh?
Yeah. Well, and the only reason I'm asking you is because, we're going to start with your team, the Guardians, taking on Detroit. Early start here. About minus 120, 125, I think, for Detroit. Tanner Bybee on the mound. In Detroit, what are we doing here, BP?
These are teams going in opposite directions. I'm not a believer in this Guardians team. The Tigers will finish ahead of them in the standings. The question is, do we want to bet the Tigers with Anderson? Cleveland gets no run support. Gives Bybee no run support typically. A clear lean to Detroit, although they are 0-6 head-to-head against Cleveland this year, Joe. Be aware of that.
Oh, another absolutely useless fact. All right, so Art, let's talk Pirates and Marlins here. Paul Skeens, Yuri Perez. Pick 'em price here for either side. What are you picking?
Yeah, and even if you can find Marlins at a little bit of a plus price, plus 102, something like that, I would lean Marlins.
All right, we got the Cubs and the Nats here today. Imanaga versus Jake Irving. Should be a ton of runs. I'd look at the over. BP, Mariners, and Yankees. You know where I'm at. Where are you at?
Well, yeah, I would agree with both of the things you guys said. You like the Yankees. I concur. Brian Woo has been a disaster on the road, generally speaking. But these two offenses have both struggled mightily since the break. So Art's call on the under, I don't disagree with that either. I think you guys nailed this one spot on the parlay of the day.
45 seconds. I'm never getting back, Art. How about Red Sox and Blue Jays? Art Sandoval versus Dylan Cease. Blue Jays minus 140, somewhere in that ballpark there.
Yeah, it's funny. People are going to probably take shots with the Red Sox, even though it's against Cease, but they've hit a little bit of skid here. Obviously, they dropped the opener last night. It's hard not to back Cease. He's been, if not the best pitcher in the American League, the second best pitcher. Cease has had a great year. I would back Cease.
Listen, I can't believe Sandoval's been as good as he is there.
know.
Martin Perez versus McLean, Mets, and Atlanta. I think Atlanta bounces back at Truist. Orioles looking to bounce back against the Twins. Bailey Ober versus Young here. God, both these teams suck. What do you think, BP?
Well, they're just so hard to project. That's the problem. You don't know what you're going to get. Dean Kramer, what do you know? For Dean Kramer to pitch well, he needed to pitch against his former teammates in Baltimore. You know, who would have predicted that yesterday? I think the Orioles probably bounce back though today, because given these two teams kind of Jekyll and Hyde nature, I'll take the team that lost the series opener to bounce back on Tuesday.
All right. Art, you've got Lodolo back for Cincinnati. First start after a blister, sidelined him for about a month. Burke for the White Sox here. Minus 150 for the White Sox. 7.5 is a total at Rate Field. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to lay that price with the White Sox, but maybe I would look to maybe lay it, maybe even look the under or look the over. I actually think it's a low total.
Low total it is. Phillies and the Cardinals here. Christopher Sanchez versus Palante. The Phillies barely held on, but more importantly, they got to give the bullpen a little bit of a rest last night. I think Sanchez bounces back. The Cardinals are awful. I'll take the Phillies here. Also, and matter of fact, I'd even lay the 1.5. How's that? Rangers, Angels, BP. Bradford, who hasn't pitched in 2 years, I don't think he has started a game. At least not on the road anyway. Taking on the lowly Angels against Johnson, who you, me, and Art might be better against than anybody else here. What do you think?
Hey, look, I cashed the under on this game last night. I think it's a series tailor-made for Texas to do well. The Angels dead last in scoring at home in all of baseball.
Yeah, Johnson's awful. Art, Rockies, Diamondbacks. I believe, did we have an over last night? I think we did 9-0. Rockies just didn't want to contribute. I don't know that they're contributing tonight, although Sagano has 11 wins on the season for the Rockies.
Unbelievable.
Crazy. What are we thinking, Art?
Yeah, the Sharps were on the Diamondbacks yesterday, and that was obviously an easy one for them. Diamondbacks will be popular in all the money line parlays today. They'll kind of public will see that they, won 9-0 last night. I mean, hard to go against the Diamondbacks at home. Maybe even a team total over.
Like it. Brewers, Padres. BP told you earlier, likes the Brewers to get it done there. Hard to argue. I think Kyle Harrison, he showed you after a little stint on the IL that he is ready to go here. Big pitching edge. I'll take the Brewers. Rays, Athletics, BP. Martinez versus Bennett. You got an over last night? We getting an over again tonight?
Nick Martinez is a guy due for a lot of regression. If you look at actual versus expected ERA, Tomoyuki Sagano, by the way, who we just talked about, his expected ERA is over 7. No one's been a bigger overachiever when it comes to actual versus expected ERA in all of baseball than him. Look, A's give up the most runs per game at home in all of baseball. Tampa came to town, put 10 on the board yesterday, and the A's score more at home as well, obviously. So no reason to expect there won't be a lot of runs here, I think.
All right. Art, Astros, Giants, Hunter Brown versus Whitten Hunt. Astros took game 1 yesterday in epic fashion. How about game 2 with Hunter Brown on the mound?
They'll win again today. Total will stay under, though.
Ooh, and Waka versus Blake Snell, gentlemen. Art, you leaning? Snell, I think, pitched once, didn't last very long this season, kind of got rocked. Waka is an under machine, especially early. Hate that bullpen, but what do you think, Art?
It's hard to back Snell at that price. This would be a pass, or maybe even you go Royals first 5.
BP,
Take the half a run, something like that.
What are you thinking?
I kind of like the over here. I know Waka, you mentioned he's an under machine. He gets, I believe he gets the least run support of any qualified starter in all of baseball. The Royals have not scored 5 runs with him on the mound in any of his last 15 starts. But to get this over, we don't need the Royals to score 15 or we don't need to score 15 runs. Obviously, we don't need them to score 5, although they did score 5 last night, Joe. I think, again, going back to what I said yesterday, this is the series where the Dodgers, specifically that lineup, I think get back on track. You mentioned the Royals bullpen. Second to last in ERA. Only the A's are worse.
I'll take the half run in the first 5. I don't trust Snell either. I do not trust Snell either.
He's the wild card in that handicap. Yeah.
You know, just because every new shiny object you get can't be a $2 and $3 favorite. I mean, just not new. Absolutely not. Overpriced, overhyped. All right, there you got it here, guys. Outstanding stuff here on a $2 Tuesday. Don't forget, all best bets just $5. I keep saying $2 Tuesday. It's a $5 Tuesday. It's Customer Appreciation Day. So the Prez has got one up. BP's got one up. I got one up. All available on our page at WagerTalk.com. Now, no idea if it'll be a Prez-free zone tomorrow. One can only help. But BP, it's always a pleasure to see you. Art, always a pleasure. We'll see you again tomorrow for sure. We'll likely... like a bit. Oh, no, you're out tomorrow. So we might actually get the bad rash back tomorrow there. All right. Yeah, that's terrible. Every time we turn around, just thought they made a cream for that.
Can't catch a break.
Nope, can't catch a break. Guys, enjoy the games. Best of luck. Go grab those best bets. $5 over at WagerTalk.com. Pleasure, BP. Really, the pleasure is all yours. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. You got it. Outstanding.